Hi everyone, my name is Sophie and today I'm going to be talking about taking care of your records and what I wish people told me when I started collecting them regarding caring for them. There's a lot of things you can do to take care of your records, but I believe that the most important ones are storing them properly, cleaning them properly, and using the correct type of record player / turntable for them. So there are a lot of do's and don'ts when it comes to storing your records, but the most important one is to not store your records stacked horizontally, so one on top of another, because that can create warping. And according to Offer Turntables, which is a site that specializes in record players and accessories and stuff like that, warping creates a very jarring sound because it changes the pitch and the harmonies in the record. And it's going to make the music sound completely different. It's not going to sound anything like it's supposed to. So therefore, you want to stack your vinyls like this, vertically, in a crate or in a shelf. Either way works. The next thing you want to do when storing your vinyls is use inner and outer sleeves. So according to Mark Henshaw, who is a record junkie who runs the blog site Your Sound Matters, he recommends switching the paper sleeves with polyethylene lined sleeves, which are these. They have like almost like a plastic texture inside, and he says it's because it creates anti-static, it's collects less dust and scratches, as well as it's easier to glide in as well. He also recommends using outer sleeves. Outer sleeves protect the framework, the artwork of the record, and it prevents the artwork from being damaged and scratches and so on, just from the general environment. Now that we have discussed how to avoid building up dust and scratches on our records using those inner and outer sleeves, let's talk about how to avoid dust buildup, and we can do that by cleaning. So I recommend using a solution, a record cleaning solution. In this case, I'm using one called Vinyl Style, and it usually comes with a brush as well. And per Vinyl Style instructions, I put solution on one end of the brush, like this, and then I would press it down on the record for a couple rotations. Then I would lift it and I would use the dry side, the part that I didn't put any of the solution on. I would press down and let it spin a couple times. Then I would handle it with a rag that's safe to handle records with and put it back in the inner sleeve. The last tip I have for you is to use a decent record player. There's a really popular brand out there called Crossley, and it's a really inexpensive brand, and I personally used to have one. But they have had a lot of issues that have caused a lot of damage to records. According to the website Recording History, which is a site that's all about records and the accessories and all, essentially Crossley has heavy ceramic cartilages, which is where the needle protrudes from. So when the needle hits the vinyl and the vinyl spins, it can create a lot of scratches on it and damage the vinyl. I recommend, if you own a Crossley, because I know that is a lot of first time record player, I recommend limiting your use on it and saving up and potentially buying a new one. I saved up and bought an Audio-Technica, which was somewhere in the ballpark of 180. But while you save up and use that Crossley, I would just check and make sure every time you use it, look at the record, make sure there's no scratches, and try to prevent any damage that could be done. So those are the best beginner tips I have to offer you. Storing, cleaning, and using a decent record player are the most basic things you can do to maintain your collection. Collecting records it's an expensive hobby. It takes time to find the ones you want, and then it costs money to buy the ones you want, and it's sometimes not it's sometimes not $20, so you want to really work on maintaining your collection. As your collection grows, there's a lot of different things you can do, but these are the most basic things you can do to make sure that your collection stays safe.